All right, there we go. Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dee Dee, and it is Monday and 9 a.m. Eastern on Coffee and Art in the Morning. And today is week 11 for the File Folder Fodder Project, week 11, or FFF or hashtag FFF11. And so this we only got one more week. We did this for 12 weeks. So next week when I do the final 12th week, then I'll just kind of recap the 12 weeks all in one. So this week, week 11 is things. So I wanted to do like your favorite things, things you collect, your collectibles, or your favorite things. Or it could be if you have a lot of favorite things and you want to remind yourself of all the little ephemera, faux ephemera, bits, bobs, and fodder that you want to keep in a folder. It could be just one thing and a different folder for another thing if you have a lot of things. Okay, so I just kind of combined some of my favorite things into one. But you could do, one folder for one thing, or a collectible if you collect multiple things. If you collect rubber stamps. Now, again, let me say it again. These little file folders are not meant to hold every piece of ephemera, every stamped out stamp you have, or anything like that. It's not to hold everything you have, unless you just have a little, like if you go on a vacation and you have all your fodder from that vacation in one folder, that would work, or, some pictures or whatever. But most of us, at least in this group, everything we own of one thing, no matter what that one thing is, would not fit in a file folder. Just saying. Okay, so I'm here with the live chat, live people. And I already said good morning to everybody before I hit record. So thanks everybody for being here. If you have any questions or comments to me, put them in caps. I try to, keep track of pretty much everything that's going on. But if you have any real questions, there's Jean Rowe. If you want to ask Jean, we're going to put you to work right away. Roe has some portrait cameo, silhouette cameo, a couple questions for you, unless she's stepped away too. So anyway, Jean, get on that, will you? Just kidding. Oh, by the way, good morning, Jean. So anyway, so let me go ahead and show you what I did. I collected in some things, some of my favorite things. Of course, I have my Mona Lisa. She's my muse. And again, I won't tell the story of why she's my muse now, but I have a story about why she is. But anyway, it's a little playing card. Someone sent me a deck of cards, playing cards, that have Mona Lisa on the, as the image on the deck of cards. So I have lots of Monas. Okay, that's good too. Okay. Hey, Cookie and Biscuits. I love some of the names we have around here. So I just put an envelope on the cover here for if I just want to. I just like the way that looked with the little compass rose on the front. So what I did for myself was just put a few of my symbols and some of the art of the symbols I use in my art. I made a list of. So as I go through it, be thinking of what you use in your work, or things that you collect and things like that. So you don't base it on what I'm collecting. You have to base it on what you use. Okay? So again, I always have make, find, have, and given. This is for things I either want to make or made, or ideas. It can be a list. It can be, just write it out on a card, an index card, or in a little note card or something. If you just have ideas you want to make with your stuff here. Things that I either find maybe in a magazine, or like out and about, and I find a card or something, or someone, just things I find. Things I have, like I have a lot of stickers, and I love to use like old flashcards, and I love the element of time, watches and clocks, compass roses, directions, things like that in my art. And so I put these 2 flashcards in here along with the list. I'll read that to you in a minute. Things I've been given, like my daughter Annie sent me a bunch of these globes. I've given most of them away. I kept a couple, but I love these globe tags. And I'm not sure where she got them from, so I can't really say, but they came in like a stationery type kit thing with all kinds of globes and compass roses, stickers of compass roses and clocks. And so I just put those in there. So these are things I've been given. So again, I'm not really overly decorating. Well, I'm not really a pro when it comes up. What I'm talking about, Jean, is the software. Like, I don't make my own stencils and stuff like that. And she was asking about that. I did tell her she needed to get the Design Studio software. I'm sure that still needed to be bought, correct? With even the new updates and stuff, do you still have to buy specifically? Sorry, guys, rabbit trail here. Do you have to specifically buy the design software separately when you make a purchase of the machine, Jean? That's what I don't know. I don't know that, and I don't know about I mean, I know what you've told me, but unless I go find where I've written it down, I couldn't give a good explanation. So, anyway, sorry, Silhouette Cameo, Her Majesty Camille. That's the name I've given my cameos, Her Majesty Camille. There was a little question. We had to have a sidebar there. Okay, well then good. You're good. Then you're good to go with that then. Okay. You do need for the extra choices, right? Okay, I didn't know if that was still necessary, Jean. I hate to make someone buy something if it wasn't. All right, so in the make thing, and then what I was going to say is, I'll either stamp, put some washi tape. I have a couple little flyers from museums. I have not seen the Chihuly collection. Someone sent me that, but I have been to the Dolly Museum, and so. I put those in there because those are some of my favorite things. Museums. You would not necessarily know it's a thing, but that is. So I stamp out make, find, have, and given on all of my file folders. I try to put some kind of washi tape, some stamps, just to remind me. I have tons of stamps with some of my favorite things, but if I just put a couple, I'll remember to go look at my stamps. Otherwise, sometimes when I'm thinking, I want to incorporate this or that, I'll forget that I have these stamps that I could use. Again, I'm not putting every one of my favorite stamps here. It's just a reminder to look through my stamps or to look through my washi tape or, that kind of thing. So that's kind of a reminder. This is a little washi tape of, it's kind of like all kinds of bottles, but it reminded me of Inkwells, which is my, Inkwell is my handle. And so, thanks, ladies, for helping out there with the cameo and the portrait information. I appreciate that. Yeah, ask Eileen. Eileen, when was the last time you pulled out yours? When was the last time you pulled out your cameo, girlfriend? Hi, Pack or Die. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this up. So we're going to move on to other things. So in the make section, I have some ATCs that are in the process or have been in the process, and I've had these for a long time. You can tell if you recognize this, I think it's 7 Gypsies paper, that I started making these ATCs on some craft paper with this, and I don't want to forget about this. This is some of my favorite things. I love making art cards, ATCs, whatever you want to call them, just depends on the size. I call the art cards 3x4 ATCs or 2.5 by 3.5. Either way, I'm not really particular about the size of the cards anymore because you can buy sleeves for both. Okay, so anyway, I just want to put that in my make section. Again, anything, cutouts, cameo, silhouette cutouts, anything like that, I just want to remind myself, don't forget you have tons of cut files. use them. And then I just have, this is a little bag to keep some of the tiny cut files in. This is, somebody had sent me these little coffee cups. I forget who sent me these particular ones, but I put them in the little bag. Again, cut files, die cuts, and coffee, of course. You know, they're coffee cups. Some of your favorite images, you might just want to have a few in here. Again, so what I'm going to do right here before I do the regular scheduled Monday show, this is just a special file folder fodder project. She used it once. But after this recording, I'm gonna do some organizing and talking and about organizing and collecting your ideas, not based on this necessarily, but I have notebooks and books and tons of ways that I organize ideas. And I try to have one big cohesive notebook. It's a big 3-ring binder, but actually now I have at least 2 8.5 by 11 binders and one 12 by 12 huge binder of ideas. So all my ideas just don't fit in one book. And that's not including notebooks, journals, molies, and all that. So anyway, but what I wanted to say is Blondie, Blonde Woman Stamping, last week, I think, or the week before, sent a whole bunch of a happy mail, and I did put that on, I did upload that video. So you can see all the goodies that Blondie sent. But one of the things she sent was a bunch of her stamps stamped on sticker paper. This is just sticker paper. You can buy it at Staples. And she stamped a whole bunch of her coffee images on the sticker paper. And so I thought about, putting some of these in here in my make because I want to cut these out and use them. But I think what I'm going to do is, not during the show, but is color and fussy cut these out for my Adorable. That's another place where I collect ideas. I have an on-the-go Adorable, which is a faux dory made by Sister Woman, Scrappy Camper Sister, one of the halves of the sisters. And if y'all see my videos, Darcy, the other half of Scrappy Camper Sisters, was here last week visiting the studio. So anyway, so I'm not going to put them in here because I'm going to use them in my Adorable. So I'm going to keep it that. But you might want to keep some of those kind of things in here just for a reminder that you have it. This is not just like, don't make this just a storage system where you put stuff and you never pull it out and use it. Again, how I'm going to put mine is all 12 of them. And again, I know I keep saying, and again, you can make your own tabs and put these on a shelf or in a box, depending on how you want to store these, and tab them and have multiple different types of file folders based on what you do. Okay, trips you've taken, things you want to give, or, it can be any topic at all. I just picked 12 over the 12 weeks. Okay, so I have a few things out of some of my Flow magazine that are my favorite things, like old-timey typewriters, telephones, watches, clocks, just some old vintage cameras, and a sewing machine reminds me of my grandma, radio, old TV, old vintagey type things. So I just wanted to put that in there. An old bingo card, and I think I got this was this from Paul? I don't forget who sent me this. Anyway, it's an old vintage, I don't know if it's like a time card on a tag, but I just want to remind myself that I have these. And again, a little bag, just a little bag to put some tinier stuff in. The tiny little bags like that are always nice just to have one or two little coin envelope or a little, some kind of a little small bag in here, or a little baggies like this. Ziploc baggie, something like that is always good, even if you just have one in each folder, because you're going to come across little tiny things that if you throw them in, they're going to get lost. So I try to keep a couple of those bags in here just to collect the little stuff. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. I think everybody here, we're on week 11, they probably know the deal. But if you're just joining us and watching the recording, the whole, every week for 12 weeks, we've been doing another topic. All right, so then in my I had this little vintage, I think this was a cut apart from a scrapbook paper, but I love that it was an old like coffee pot and clock in one. It was like, well, it might be a teapot, but you know, for me it would be coffee. But I love that it was in one thing. I just love that. A vintage bicycle and some stickers that have a bunch of vintagey things, like an old vintage wagon and a tricycle. Of course, I love books. And again, some more bikes. Here's some musical instruments and just some different kind of things. Some cameras, a little tripod, some stickers. And I already showed you the vintage um, flashcards. And then I started making a list here of some, and it's all it is just a little piece of leftover scrapbook paper folder or something. So what I did is I wanted to write down, and it's not an extensive list, but it just gives you the idea. These are some of the things I like to use in my art: watches and clocks, planets, stars, and space, maps and charts, inkwells, pens, and nibs, anything with Leonardo or Mona, and animal drawings. And I like to combine that. I also like to carve my own rubber stamps, although I haven't done it for a while, but this is one of my hand carved bees, and I love bees. Uh, Dee says vintage things, and they are the things that I had. Well, they were on my verge of things that I mean, some of the TVs and phones and things like that, the radios, I did have those as well, Eileen. So yeah, I did actually live with those things as well. Now I don't know about the old hand crank phones. I mean the I actually have a replica of one of those kind of let me see. Let me have to draw one. What are these? I don't know what kind of phone they're called, but they're the handheld two. You hold the tall part. Oh my goodness! Now I got to draw one. Hang on. Let me get a scrap piece of paper here. Where's my Sharpie? I had a Sharpie right here. What did I do with it? Is it here? Well, no, it's got to be a Sharpie. You won't be able to see it. Got to take a rabbit trail now. One of these kind of phones. It looks kind of like this, and it's got the cord, and it's got the you speak into this. One of those. I didn't have one of those, Eileen. One ringy dingy, y'all girl snap. Anyway, I did not actually live with this kind of phone, Eileen. You might have. Okay, so then inside here, I also stamped out some different Inkwell stamps I have, and some ink nibs and pens, and these are just a few of the Inkwell rubber stamps that I have. So I put them in here too, and I can do it this way or that way, but it's just a little piece of something just to kind of list some things. Again, I just started one. I started a list. I can make it more extensive, although I do have these kinds of lists in Molly's, my writing journals. I do my writing, although I've kind of moved into my adorables, and I'm not living in Molly's, as the planner girls say. I've moved out of the Moleskines and into the adorables. Okay, Carrie. I mean, be here when you can. I understand. You got things, you got a life. Carrie's actually got other things to do besides mod for me, but I appreciate it when you can be here, Carrie. Thank you. Oh, so, okay. And then in the given thing, I've had people, someone's given, I think this is from APG Jamie. I can't remember. These are rub-ons. They're rub-ons. It has a stick in there, and it's the vintage tricycle wheelbarrow and things like that. So that was given to me. My daughter gave me a bunch of these globes. You can't see the glitter on them. But anyway. Oh, and, well, I'll tell you that in a minute, because I'm going to get off on another rabbit trail. Anything with watches, clocks, compasses. So these are some stickers also. And I do have other packs of these I've given away and put in my adorable. So I just want to remind myself of some of these things. So it's kind of like very personal, very what, I can't just do a generalization of one topic when it's your thing. What is your favorite things you collect? And I put another Mona on the back there. And Packer Dye, she's probably glad. She's probably going to got 2 more weeks. She's probably thinking, oh my gosh, because Packer Dye volunteered to decorate more extensively her file folder. So if y'all don't know Packer Dye, go check out her YouTube. She's been decorating, and I told her when we started, you don't have to do every single week, Packer Dye. Do them as you can. She's got family and things going on and a very hectic, busy life. She spends literally 1/3 of her day in a car, and so I did never expected her to do all 12 weeks, even a few of the weeks, which she's already done more than, her fair share of decorating the file folders in her collage style. So y'all make sure and check them out too. So I'm just checking chat here. Do you have any of these things in my art journal? Well, I gotta say, we have a new person, Nighthawks Blues. I haven't got a nickname for her, but her real name, her name's Lori. So Lori, I have literally hundreds of art journals. So yes, I would say in one of those, there's probably every bit of this kind of stuff, or at least something very similar. Um, and also, anybody that's new here, if you want to follow, the bulk of us are on Twitter. I'm Inkwell, Inkiwell. If you want to follow, me, and you can find us all, through one or two of us, And also on IG, same name. And I'm on Facebook, Dee Dee Willingham. And here, YouTube recordings, I'm Dee Dee Willingham too. So, or Inkwell, either one. So, yeah. Your swagger wagon. Is that what you call it? Living in your swagger wagon, Packer Dye? That's got to go in the Wingnut book. And again, I should wrap this up first, but real quick now that I've said it. We have a book, it's called The Wingnuts. And it's just one of those old Tim Holtz ruler books with the wing nuts on it. It's perfect. And so anyway, when anybody says something quippy, a quote that's quippy, cute, whatever, we put it in there. So Packer Dye, because she lives in her car half the time, she calls it living in her swagger wagon. And she doesn't literally, nobody, don't email me. Packer Dye's not living in her car, literally. She just is driving people around all day. She's got, well, I don't want to get into too much of her personal life, but she's in the car a lot, driving people around. So Packer Dye's living in the swagger wagon. And so these are just all filled with quips, quotes, and funny sayings that people have said over the years. And so they're not in no particular order. They're not dated or anything like that. They just get stuck in Post-it notes in here. And when my daughter was here helping me organize the art studio, she looked at these. She goes, that doesn't make any sense. None of this makes sense if you weren't here. But we still collect them anyway. So, yeah, that's our Wingnut book. You too can be in the Wingnut book. Just pop on over to Coffee and Art in the morning. Oh, okay. All right. So Packer Dye said, Google the Toyota Swagger Wagon and watch the video, and that's her life. Okay. I will have to do that. The Toyota. Let me make another note. Toyota Swagger Wagon. Is that your favorite ad of the year? I always pick one a year. I already told y'all mine. Okay. So let me put YouTube. All right. So I will go look that up. Okay. So anyway, so there's our rabbit trails in the midst of our file folder fodder project week 11. And so this is some of my favorite things. It's not every favorite thing I have, but it's some, just to give y'all an idea. And you can always add more to it. That's the thing about this, is you can constantly be adding to it. And they're small, and they'll fit on a shelf, nice and neat, with little tabs on them to pick them out when I want. So that's the plan. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. If you watch this recording and like more of this wingnut stuff, then there'll be a video to follow this one. So thanks everybody that's participating in the file folder fodder project. And we got one more week, so week 12. And again, I'll do a full like review of each one when I'm next week. So thanks for watching this, and I will BRB.